Big changes are coming to Frontierland in Walt Disney World, and people are not standing for it. Angry Disney World fans are venting over the closure of classic attractions, and we're going to talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, this is coming to us from the New York Post, of all places.
New York?
Yeah. So that means the Disney fan rage has hit the mainstream media now.
This is very interesting, Marvin, because we've seen a series of articles actually be published by the New York Post talking about theme park issues, and it's very, very interesting to see such an outlet with such a infamy or prestige actually talking about these issues.
So it says fans of Walt Disney World are in for a wild ride as construction for the upcoming Piston Peak National Park at the Florida theme park ramps up. Much of Frontierland and Magic Kingdom is slowly being replaced, and fans aren't thrilled. Popular Disney blog Inside the Magic, well, that popular is a subjective term, reported that large sections of the area are now consumed by construction walls, notably around Big Al's and Westward Ho area, where guests have now been funneled through a temporary narrow walkway. However, even that small amount of limited access may soon be closing. Inside the Magic noted that permit filings and typical timelines at Disney could point to the reimagining pathway closing imminently. If that walkway is eliminated, some of the parts of the park will disappear from view, including Big Al's, which is considered a piece of Disney's history, as it's one of the few structures that has been there since the Magic Kingdom's early years. Oh, they don't care about that. One of the most discernible changes has been the closure of the Frontierland Boardwalk shortcut, which was once a quiet bypass for guests to use during peak crowds. Some fans have expressed concern that the small back walkway near Country Bear Musical Jamboree could also close as construction advances. Several snack kiosks and merchandise stops considered staples in Frontierland are additionally being removed as the new Piston Peak National Park is making its way in. And Blog Mickey noted that the Frontierland Walt Disney World Resort Station has shut down, with the train now operating as a shuttle between Fantasyland and Main Street, USA. Fans have expressed their disappointment and frustration over having to say goodbye to the Frontierland they once knew and loved. What the hell is the point? Who the bleep is wanting this? What does this accomplish? Who asked for the destruction of Dino Land? Who's asking for this? Who says, yep, Frontierland? We have some big, huge world issues over there. We got to get right on changing it, one disgruntled fan questioned on Reddit. I love Frontierland, keep it as it is, another wrote, but why? They fit the theme of the area, and yes, I know likely due to new Cars area, but are we really going to tear down Frontierland for this? Someone else wrote, I utterly despise that they're closing the Rivers of America just to replace it with a Cars attraction of all things. I have several issues with this, one fan ranted on Reddit last year, with someone else noting, with the river gone, that area is going to be a concrete monstrosity. This all sounds very familiar, Vash.
Very familiar, yes, because these are the a lot of the same issues. We verbalized them a little bit differently than some of these disgruntled guests, but maybe in some cases, right? But no, there are very, very big problems with this construction project, and this is why we've questioned the value of a full price ticket at Magic Kingdom, for example, because there's so much of this park that is behind walls or with limited operations, like the shuttle mode for the Walt Disney World Railroad. Big Thunder obviously is not even operational right now, and they're building this huge, tremendous wall around it, which is very, very interesting. So it's just like to charge as much as they do, and to say that we're really guest focused and leaning and so forth. This is very self-serving of Disney, and we all know why they're doing this. We all know why they got rid of Rivers of America in order to reduce maintenance costs, and in order to bring up revenue potential with these new Cars and Villains Land attractions by charging Lightning Lane and all these different things. And it's like, is the pain even going to be worth it at the end? I don't even know.
Probably not at all. It is it's wild, man. Like it's but also, as Ken Reinhardt said, welcome to 1 year ago at That Park Place. Yeah, seriously, guys. Frontierland though, like, it is like really rough to even walk through it anymore.
Oh, I mean, I've seen the video. Unfortunately, I've not had to take the steps myself, so I've not had the distinct pleasure of doing that. But
yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild to walk through there and be like, I can't believe this is what it looks like right now for the duration of this.
The funnels, by the way, too. Where you if you want to go to Tiana's Bay Adventure, which I know, shocking. Who would ever want to do that? But if you want to go into the parks, one of their only water rides actually available there. to pass over the bridge and so forth with as many construction walls as they have, and to have these narrow pinch points, which various areas of Big Thunder maybe are causing issues, or even Rivers of America, it's just not a pleasant experience.
Correct.
And this is why the decision to do this, especially right now when Epic Universe is just kind of gaining momentum and really gaining traction right there with the extended fan community and so forth. I think a lot of people are giving second thoughts to booking a vacation, maybe even to Walt Disney World as a whole, but certainly looking at Magic Kingdom and going, well, let's go ahead and visit the other parks, whether that be Disney or other places.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wild to me though that the guest rage has reached such an intensity that it's now being broadcast out in the mainstream media. It's being put out through publications like the New York Post. I mean, we've been talking about this since they made the announcement that they were doing it. And, I got to think the guest dissatisfaction has only grown as they've walked around. I mean, we heard it in Epcot for years as they were redoing Epcot, how everyone hated the walls and all that stuff. But like back in the day, like, do you remember like when they were building Guardians of the Galaxy? They put up the wall around Ellen's Energy Adventure, and it was like really cool. It was like themed to Guardians of the Galaxy. There were like Groot was on it. It was like a space like galaxy motif. They called it the Galaxy Wall. People were taking pictures with it. They're not doing that in Frontierland at all. They're not having like like even in Animal Kingdom they're putting up like pictures of what's coming and stuff like that. At Frontierland, man, it's just a brown wall. It is a poop-colored wall that extends along the entirety of the land.
I mean, it goes on for forever, right? From basically all the way from Liberty Square, right, all the way around there, all the way around that bend and so forth, and it's very unsightly. There's no question about it. Obviously, there were fish and dead rotting things happening in the initial days. Obviously, a lot of that has been cleaned up as they've kind of retilled the soil and everything like that, getting ready for installation of some of these bigger structures. And now we have some of the steel and concrete actually going in, but still, it's extremely unsightly. I'm sure it's very, very noisy around those areas at certain particular hours of the day. Go ahead.
My favorite was just how like it seemed like there was almost like divine like intervention against what Disney's been doing. Like, remember when they drained the river and then like it torrentially downpoured right afterward and filled it back up? Like,
yes, that was Walt actually saying that. No, let my river flow.
Well, right so that I felt like that was Walt. And then the day that they announced, the day that they started selling alcohol in the Magic Kingdom, I think it was when they maybe it was about a year ago. Like, it was right around Halloween last year, not a full year ago. Because I remember I was at the Halloween Horror Nights press event, and they had just opened up the bar, the Pirates Bar in the Magic Kingdom, and immediately the power grid for like all of Walt Disney World went down.
Yes. And
I was just like, man, like Walt is pissed.
Walt is pissed, and even your big solar farm couldn't save you. No, this whole thing right here is I think it's very, very interesting, Marvin, that the frustrations of guests, like you were saying right there, has reached such a fervor, right? In order to reach these outlets, that's a particular issue right there going on. But at the same time, from a casual fan's perspective, a lot of people are kind of questioning whether or not, like I was saying before, whether this whole thing is worth it in the end. I think for like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and I remember encountering a lot of these problems with Disneyland, right, when that was actually going in. And that was like a 3-year process in which you had substantial portions of like the railroad, for example, shut off for that length of time, the Mark Twain Riverboat, the Columbia, right? Those actually couldn't circumnavigate those waterways because a portion of those were removed in order to make way for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And it was very disruptive. There's no question about that. It wasn't as disruptive as this because, at least in this case, they had a partial allowance for the river, right? They didn't get rid of the entire thing, obviously, but they did kind of water dam portions of it so that you at least got that river feel during that entire process, which I liked and I think fans really did appreciate. Also, too, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was looked at as something. It was like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. It's going to be entirely transformative for the entire theme park experience, right? It's going to be this big deal. However, we all know what actually happened on the other end. So, having Magic Kingdom guests now, with that history in mind, going through this long, distillation or gestation period for this construction right here. I think a lot of people are wondering, like, is this all going to be worth it? This park is going to be forever changed.
Yeah.
And are the attractions on the other side going to captivate audiences? I don't know.
Sure. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely, guys. So, guys, at the end of the day, people are pissed off. Frontierland is in shambles. Fans are making their voices heard, and the mainstream media is starting to...
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.